Hey guys, it's Kelly from FitnessBlender.com, and today I have an upper body workout for you. I've included both your warm-up and your cool-down, and the only thing you need for this routine is a set of dumbbells. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we're going to start off with a nice light warm-up, and we're going to start off with some neck exercises. So we're going to be looking one direction, then the other, and roll our head. So look right, look left, and then dip down, scoop over the other side. Now you're going to repeat, but this time you're going to do the scoop towards the opposite direction. So right, left, do a scoop, then left, right, and do that next stretch again. So you're moving as slowly or as quickly as you need to be comfortable. Just getting a nice little stretch there to start. All right, next up we're doing shoulder rolls. So back, really exaggerated, get as much range of motion out of this as you can. This should all feel really good. You're gonna get those muscles warmed up and ready to work hard. And the workout we're doing today is kind of fun. So we're going to be doing a different exercise for each set. So we're going to be doing a very varied routine. Going to target those muscles in all kinds of different ways. All right, next up we're doing an overhead windmill plus a sweep. So nice and fingers all stretched out, nice and tall. Now come back down, and then you're going to scoop towards your feet. Get a nice stretch in the backs of the thighs, then come back up. So again, really exaggerate this motion. Push the range of motion the entire movement. About 10 seconds left. All right, next up we are doing an torso twist plus a chest opener. So we're doing 1, 2, 3 twists. Stop right here and open, stretch out your chest. Now you're doing 3 again, and you're going to end up on the opposite side. So stretch. Make sure you're breathing nice and easy during this. Shouldn't be working too hard yet, but you want to make sure you're not holding your breath. Try to get all the motion out of that torso. Try to keep your hips locked in place. It's kind of hard to do. All right, next up we're doing curls plus an overhead press. So nice and tall, you're curling and then pushing up over your head. So we're mimicking a whole bunch of the movements that we're going to be doing during our actual workout. So even now, during our warm-up, you can start to contract your muscles, so squeeze. You can even, with no weights at all, you can feel this. It's contracting your muscles, so you're working against yourself is what it feels like. All right, next up, doing a forward reach plus a chest stretch. So reach forward, really exaggerate that, and then open your chest back up. So you're stretching your upper back, and you're coming forward, and you're stretching your chest. Keep it going. Next up, we're going to be doing a side reach. All right, so keeping your feet planted, you're swooping over so you get a nice stretch through that torso, and repeat on the opposite side. It's going slowly back and forth here. Only a few more warm-up exercises. Right, next up we were doing front raises plus a lateral pull down. So we're going to be lifting our arms up in front of our body. Now come up and bring your arms back and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Press back up and then come down in front of your body. And again, we don't have any weights yet, but you can always contract your muscles. You can still start to use those muscles already. So aside from working on range of motion here, we're getting the muscles warm, and like I said, you can start to work already by squeezing, contracting against yourself. All right, next up we're doing an arm cross swing plus a double row. So swing in front, come back, and pulse. So next time you're swinging the opposite hand over top, then pull back. So again, you can feel this right between those shoulder blades, right in that upper back. You're going to start to feel your muscles working. 10 seconds left. All right, now the boxer shuffle. This is our last warm-up exercise, our last interval of warming up, and we're going to get into that strength training. So we'll probably have some very sore muscles after today, so be prepared. You might want to find somebody to help you wash your hair, things like that. Should be pretty intense. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds. Alright, so that is our warm-up. So make sure you have your weights nearby and we'll move into that strength training. Here we go, guys. Our first exercise is going to be a chest fly. So if you have a bench or a physio ball, you can definitely, that will make this exercise a little bit easier to do, but I'm going to improvise and use the floor and show you how you can do that as well. So I'm going to be using 16 pounds per hand for this. Make sure to grab a weight that makes those last few repetitions difficult. So listen to your body to decide which weight is right. So I'm going to be laying flat on my back and I'm going to press up into a bridge. So I'm going to provide a little extra elevation there. Otherwise, I'm getting my weights up right over my chest right here and then lowering down, pressing back up. So inhale on the way down, exhale as you press back up. Contract your abs, try to get your hips up there. This makes it a little bit of a glute workout as well. All right, there's 5, that's halfway. We're doing 10 repetitions here. Here's number 8, so you should be struggling right about now. If you're not, you need to pick a heavier weight for the next round. Here's our last one. All right, so like I said, we're not repeating a single exercise in this routine, so we're using different exercises to target the same muscle group. So you can read more about it at the link below. Otherwise, we're going to be going on to a reverse fly, if I can talk. So I'm using just 4 pounds per hand for this one. It seems like not a lot, but it's kind of a strange motion. So you're going to be leaning forward, feet about hip width apart. Lean forward, keep your back flat. And with those weights right underneath that shoulder joint, you're going to come up without swinging, squeeze, and then slowly lower back down. Here's halfway. Make sure you're not using momentum for this. If you're swinging the weights, it makes it a lot easier and a lot less effective. All right, 2 more. I may have already lost count. And let that relax. All right, so next up we're going to be doing a ventral raise. I'm using 8 pounds per hand for that one. You can stop and shake out your muscles at any point if you like to. So it's sometimes just taking a really quick break and letting those muscles relax for just a second before you go back to work makes a big difference. So take a couple deep breaths. We'll grab our weights and go into those ventral raises. So this one is going to be right in front of our bodies. So again, feet shoulder width apart, sitting up nice and tall, and you're going to use slow, controlled motions to lift that weight up right about the level of your shoulders and then back down. So you're not dropping the weights. You want to make sure you can control that all the way down. There's 3. So you want to make sure that you're not leaning back to make this happen. You don't want to do that. So keep your posture the same and you're lifting that weight up. So don't change the way you're standing. There's halfway. Oh, it's starting to burn. All right, 2 more. If your form starts to suffer, you can always drop your weights. It's better to do it with lighter weight than it is with bad form. So, I'm done with that one. So next up we're going to be doing a dumbbell pullover with our palms in. So again, if you have that physio ball or bench, they'll come in handy right here. Otherwise, I'll show you how to do it on the floor. I'm going to be using 16 pounds, just one weight for this one. So again, you can push up into a bridge if you like. Get a little bit of work for the butt and thighs, and it gives you a little tiny bit of extra elevation. So I'm going to start again right above the chest, right above the shoulder joints roughly, and your palms are facing in towards one another. So here we go, lower, nice and slow. Don't let it rest on the ground, bring it back up, and no further in than that shoulder joint. So you don't want to come in here, it's not doing any good after that. There's 2. There's halfway. So squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs. Keep that weight working you the whole time. So remember, never coming in past the shoulder and never resting on the ground. So your muscles are tense that whole time. Two more. My muscles are already shaking. All right, there we go. So next up, we're going to be doing a tricep kickback. So we're going to do one arm at a time. For this one, I'm going to use 12 pounds per hand. So we're going to be working the backs of our arms. So I'm going to take a split stance here and kind of rest on this other leg. So I'm going to pull my arm up and lock it in right next to my side. And then from here, we're extending. So there's 1, and I can already tell there's going to be, I need to lower my weight, but that's okay. There's 2. So again, no swinging, lock in that arm, get that weight up there, and this one's too heavy for me, so I'm going to have to lower my weight, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to do 8 pounds per hand. So again, locking that weight up here, keep it going. There's halfway, keep your back nice and flat. Squeeze these muscles, the lower body can be working too. All right, one more. All right, there are those. Now we're going to be doing the other side of the body. So same thing, I'm going to be resting on the opposite side this time of the foot. So right here, rest, bring your hand up, and then you're extending at the elbow. Three more. Last one right here. Oh, okay. Ouch. All right, next up we're going to be doing a hammer curl. So I'm going to use 16 pounds per hand. I'm going to shake out your muscles a little bit. So we're going to be holding the weights like this. And we're going to be doing a straight up and down here. Again, with the elbows locked in at the sides. So grab your weight. Sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath. And start for your first repetition. So again, no swinging. Doing slow and controlled, both on the way down and the way up. And keeping those elbows hinged in at your sides. Here's number 7. And I'm going to have to lower my weight if I'm going to finish this. So keep going if you've still got it. Otherwise, you can wait for me. I have 3 more reps. So here's 3, 2, and our last one right here. Slowly let those weights back down. All right, so we have earned ourselves our first water break. So grab a quick drink of water, don't go too far, and we'll be right back in just a second. We are on to group 2 of 3, and we're starting off with a chest press. So I'm going to be using 20 pounds per hand. I'm going to drop to the floor, or that physio ball or bench if you have one. Otherwise, we're going to make do. And this is a slightly different movement from the chest fly, but pretty similar. So get your kicked up into that bridge, arms up, and we're coming straight down. I'm going to be bending at the elbows and then pressing back up. Inhale on the way down. Exhale as you press back up. There's a halfway point. Three more. Make sure those weights are falling right in line with your chest. 2 more. Here's our last one. All right, that's it for those. So next up, we're gonna be doing a wide row. And again, this is a lot weaker motion typically. So I'm gonna be using only 4 pounds for this one, but I'm still gonna feel it. So pick a weight that's right for you. We're going to do one side at a time. So again, we're dropping into that split stance, and you're lean forward with a flat back, and you're bringing your arm up kind of like you would with a reverse fly, but you're going to lead with that elbow. So right up out there. So again, try to keep your back flat. Exhale during that hardest motion. So as you're pulling up, breathe out. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Try not to rotate your shoulders. You don't want to be opening up. Keep your shoulders facing the ground and lead with that elbow. That's what makes it so tricky, is you want to open your shoulders, but don't let yourself do it. All right, 3 more. Here's our last one. All right, so take a quick break. I'm going to repeat on the opposite side of the body. Shake out your muscles real quick. Roll your shoulders a couple times. All right, now we're going to finish up on the other side. So leaning forward again, back flat. Rotate your hands so your wrist is facing out. Lead with that elbow. Remember not to let your shoulders open up. Exhale as you pull up. Inhale as you go back down. Three more. All right, drop your weights. Next up, we're going to be doing a shoulder press, an overhead press. So I'm going to use 12 pounds per hand on this one. Remember, pick a weight that makes those last few reps really difficult without sacrificing your form. And like you've seen me do, it's always okay to adjust your weight partway through the set. Just hit pause and I'll be waiting for you when you're done. So, standing nice and tall, have your shoulders, or your weights right at your shoulders, and you're pressing up above your head, and then bring your arms back down. Try to use the same pace on the way up and the way down, because you want to be in control of this. So, halfway right here. Inhale on the way down. Exhale as you press back up. 3 more. The last one. Oh, struggling there. It's okay, that's good. All right, so next up we're going to be doing a pullover with a variation with our palms up. So it's a slight difference that makes a big difference in which muscles you're targeting and how. So I'm going to grab just one weight. I'm going to use 12 pounds for this. So dropping to the floor, I'm going to press up into that bridge. So you're going to want to hold your weights. It might be a little bit difficult. If you can't figure it out, if your weights don't allow for it, just do a regular pullover. Otherwise, you're going to do it, hold on to them so that your palms are facing up instead of facing each other. So press up into that bridge and drop that weight down. Again, you're not coming in any further than those shoulders. Get as close as you can to the ground without banging those weights. There's halfway. My muscles are shaking like crazy. Here's our last one. All right, got those finished. Next up, we're going to be doing an overhead tricep extension. So again, we're going to be isolating the arms, one arm at a time. I'm going to be using 8 pounds for this one. So, step over here. So, you're going to stretch your arm out right over your head, and you're going to lower it, keeping your upper arm rigid. Just drop at the elbow, lower it back behind your head, and then extend back up. So you're just hinging at the elbow. That's where all the movement is coming from. Staying up nice and tall. Slowly drop that weight. Exhale as you push it back up. Here's number 7. Two more. Last one right here. All right, finished it. Okay, so now we're gonna do that on the opposite side of the body. So stretch your muscles out, take a quick breath. And when you're ready, get that arm up there. So same thing on the opposite side, standing up nice and tall. You're gonna lower it back behind your head. Remember to keep that arms stationary. So you can see I'm putting the weights here. Here's our halfway point. Three more. Squeeze everything. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Don't lock them out. Otherwise, contract your thighs, your abs, your glutes. All right, one more. Oh, here we go. All right, so we have one more in this set. We're gonna be doing a bicep curl, just a regular bicep curl. So I'm gonna do 12 pounds per hand on this one. So this is a little harder with hips, but do your best to keep your palms out, so facing your screen, and you're gonna be doing a curl. So again, keeping your elbows locked at your sides, squeeze up, no swinging, no momentum, nice and slow. Exhale during that hard part. So as you're curling up, there's 6. Two more. And here's our last one. All right, let those arms relax. So this is we have one more set after this. So all different exercises still. Grab a quick drink of water if you need it, and we'll get right back to work. All right, for our last set, we're starting off with a close press. So I'm going to be using 16 pounds per hand for this one. We're going to drop down again into that bridge. And this time we're going to alter the way we bring our hands down. So press up, and then keeping your hands in right close to your sides, you're going to keep a narrow stance and then press up until your arms are almost all the way extended, and then bring back down. So try not to lock out your elbows so that you keep those muscles working the entire time so they never get a break. And then try not to rest your arms on the ground either, so your muscles stay contracted the whole time. Three more. Here's our last one. All right, lower those weights. And next up, we're going to do the opposite of that motion. So use a lot lighter weight, or a little bit lighter anyway, 12 pounds for this one. So for this, you're going to take that split stance, hang that weight down, and you're going to be bringing, like I said, the opposite motion. You're pulling this time. So hang your arm right underneath your shoulder, and then bring it up so that it's in line with your torso, and then drop it back down. So pull, exhale as you pull up, then drop back down. Keep your back flat. Four more. Here's our last one. All right, so I'm gonna let that side rest. We're gonna repeat that on the opposite side of the body. So split your feet, lean forward slightly, keep your flat back, and you're pulling that weight up, and drop it back down. So try not to rush any part of the movement, and even though it gets harder, try to stay in control of it. There's four. Try not to open your chest up, just like with the other exercise. You want to make sure you're keeping your chest facing the ground. Two more. All right, drop that back down. So next up, we're going to do a lateral raise with our palms down. So I'm going to try 8 pounds per hand. My muscles are getting pretty toasty here, but you're standing nice and tall, weights by your side, and we're coming out. Your palms are facing in towards your thighs. So stand up nice and tall, out by your sides, and then drop back down. Exhale as you pull those weights up there. There's 3. Don't throw your weights. This is the one we talked about with the Elvis lip. You kind of start pulling funny faces while you're doing this one. All right. We have a couple more. I'm going to have to drop my weights for this. I'm starting to get sloppy. So I'm down to just 4 pounds per hand, but that's okay. So pull up. Drop slowly back down. Do one more for this just because I'm not sure where we're at on the counter. Alright, so for our next exercise, we're going to be doing side pullovers. I'm going to hold on to these 4-pound weights because this is a really weird range of motion that uses the muscles way differently than we usually do. So you're going to lay out flat on your side and bring that weight up over your shoulder joint. So we're doing a side pullover. So a similar motion to what we've been doing on our backs the whole time, but you're dropping the weight back. Your arm can even go behind your head, and then bring it up again, not in any further than that shoulder joint. So like I said, tomorrow we're going to be sore in all kinds of unique ways here. Here's 4. Try to control that weight. Lower it as low as you can, and then stop before you come in further than your shoulder. Makes it a lot harder. Here's 6. Just 2 more left. Last one. All right, there we go. Now we're going to switch to the opposite side. So stretch out there, get comfortable. Get your arm up above your head. Now we're doing the same thing, 10 repetitions. You're almost done with this last set. There's 4. Halfway. There's 7. All right, 3 more. Have just 2 more exercises after this. All right, 1 more. And we are done with that one. All right, so next up we're going to do tricep dips. So if you have a chair or a bench next to you, go ahead and do it off of those for more range of motion. Otherwise, you can do it off the floor. So you're going to have your hands flat on the ground. I'm gonna kick a foot out when I do it, just to get a little more action in there. But you're dipping down. So make sure your elbows are going out straight behind you. That's halfway. All right, that's it. So the backs of this arm should be burning. We have 1 more exercise. This is again a really unique one, so you're gonna wanna lift light. It's an overhand curl. So I'm gonna be using just 4 pounds per hand. So it's all the regular rules of a curl, but you're doing it with your palms facing your screen. So, the backs of your wrists will be facing your screens. The palms are facing yourself. So you're coming up here, and lower back down. So like I said, especially if you've never done this before, you want to make sure you use a light weight the first time. Make sure you've got the form down. Let your body get used to it. That's halfway. Three more. This is our last one. All right, and we have earned ourselves a cool down stretch. So I'm going to start out by just shaking out those muscles in general. Just kind of move whatever feels good to you. Work out all the tension you just built up in there. All right, so swinging your arms back and forth in front of your body. Just kind of rock back and forth. Try to make it a little wider each time so you get a good chest stretch. All right, so now we're going to pull your arm across your body in front right here. So pull just so you feel a stretch through the back of this arm here. I'm going to hold this for a few seconds. All right, now we're going to switch sides. Pull that opposite arm across. So you want to make sure you drink lots of water after this and eat a good, healthy, whole meal as soon as you can after your workout is done. If you don't have time to eat a meal, at least eat a hefty snack. You want to replenish all your carbohydrates. All right, now I'm gonna do the same thing we did in the warm-up. So stretch out your fingers, really exaggerate it all the way to the top of your head. I'm gonna lean one direction, and then the other. I'll come to the center and stretch all the way down to your toes. Stay here for just a second and take your hands and clasp them behind your back. Roll so you get a good upper body, upper back stretch. You can kind of move back and forth, stretch out the backs of those thighs as well. All right, so one more time, bring your hands up. And right here, lean to one side, stretch all along the side of your body here. Now the other. And repeat that same sequence. So stretch out your fingers all the way down and clasp your hands behind your back. Do that same stretch. All right, so now we're going to do a tricep stretch. So grabbing your arm, you're going to pull your arm back, kind of lean into it a little bit if you need to, so you feel a nice stretch all along here. Stretching out all those muscles we just worked. All right, now switch sides. All right, now we're going to walk down into a downward dog. So keeping your feet flat on the ground if you can. Come down here and try to press your head through your hands. You can walk through it a little bit. All right, I'm going to walk. Actually, I'm gonna walk down, sorry. Go up into a cobra, nice and awkward. Your shoulders down, away from your neck. All right, now I'm gonna come up and stretch my wrists. So pulling my hands back, my fingers back towards my body, just till you feel a nice stretch to this forearm here. Right, now you're going to go the other way. Stretch the back of your arm. Just pull nice and gentle until you just feel a little bit of a stretch. Alright, now we're going to do the opposite on the other hand, so pull those fingers back towards your body again. And switch directions. Right, now just a little bit of shoulder rolls, so you're going back. Again, really exaggerate the motion. So you're doing as big as circles as you can. Take your time. You might hear a lot of groaning and popping in there, but it should feel good. Alright, now we're going to do the look back and forth. One side, then the other. Now roll your head down, scoop nice and slow to end up on that other side. Look back and forth twice, and then do the scoop. So this should feel good on your neck, especially if you spend a lot of time on a computer. This kind of thing is important. All right, we'll do one more of these. All right, and let it relax. All right, guys, good job. We've done this whole workout. We just did a whole bunch of different exercises. If you feel like you want to stretch out more, go for it. It's always good to do extra stretching. Otherwise, like I said, make sure that you drink lots of water and eat healthy food. And otherwise, good job, guys. This workout is complete.